Hello and welcome back to Emberclaw, Industrial Dawn, and of course to RimWorld. Where we last left off, we got Machinators somewhat up and running, but one thing I absolutely forgot to do was actually set the temperature in this freezer here. So we are going to do that real quick. That is now -7. This should start cooling down very, very quickly, which will mean these waste packs will no longer dissolve, which is a very, very good thing. We also have a couple of deep drills coming in out here, and I'm considering canceling that, to be completely honest with you. The deep drills are fine, but they are so slow, and I honestly don't have time for it. So instead, what I think I would like to do is continue strip mining the planet. So I am going to, let's go for something like this, and then we can have a little doorway going through this way, just so that this is a little bit quicker. And then from there, we can go ahead and pretty much strip mine this entire thing. I'm gonna mark all of it to be mined for the moment, and get the other side as well, please, and get this. And then I'm gonna cancel every 2 rows in here, just like so. I think that's gonna be a little bit quicker and a little bit less time consuming to actually get done. So once this is finished, I'll come back and we'll have another look at the work priorities to make sure that they are actually doing this mining. So we'll come back in a little bit. Perfect, that should be good. They'll have a nice path down the middle. They should be able to get out here nice and easily, which is going to be absolutely amazing. As soon as they've mined this singular block here, I will go ahead and throw a door in there just to make sure that we are protected from the outside world, but that should be fine. Now, in terms of our work, this can stay pretty much as it is. They will do mining first and then drilling. But I feel like we're going to find a lot more steel a lot quicker this way. The next thing that I want to address is we are currently working on recon armor, and we did actually go ahead and find the tech print for jump packs in the last episode. So I would love for one of my researchers, let's say Layfield, to come in here and apply that tech print as soon as they are finished sleeping. And I think that is going to be fantastic. Now, one other thing that I do want to go ahead and do now that we have Hoff is actually set up a classroom, but also set up some clothes for them to wear because, you know, currently we have a whole bunch of kid shirts laying around, but we don't have any pants. And I would also like their shirts to be made out of Devil Strand rather than anything else. So I'm going to say do until you have 2, do until you have 2, and this is going to be only Devil Strand, 51% or above, normal to legendary, only allowed ingredients, only if you've got crafting skill level 8 or above, and we will do the exact same thing for the pants, which shouldn't take too long, 51%, normal to legendary, only allowed ingredients, 8 to 20 skill, and that should be good. They should get started working on that. Once recon armor is finished, we will go ahead and unlock jump packs wherever they are down here. So I will go ahead and add that to the queue since that is about to be researched. And then from there, we're really on a beeline to Starflight Flight Basics. There are a couple of things I want to do. I want to get this armor built. And then I would love to also get pulse charged munitions so that we can get some better guns. And then we're pretty much beelining it to Starflight Basics. But in order to make that happen a little bit quicker, there are a couple of researches that I want to do along the way. The first is going to be packaged survival meals so that we can do caravans a little bit easier. And then we are going to move on to, if I can find it in here somewhere, where does this live? Long-range mineral scanning is what I want to unlock after that, and that way we can go ahead and, you know, actually find decent amounts of plasteel, steel, and all the other things we might need. And I would also like to unlock transport pods so that we can feed those caravans or give them items if we forget something. So with all that being said, I'm going to let the game run for a little bit here as we level up some stuff, as we get all of this started to be mined out, all of that, and then we'll come back in a little bit. All right, jump packs is finished, recon armor is also finished, and that means we now have the ability to go ahead and make Locust armor. which is basically recon armor with jump pack installed in it. Now, they do take 3 advanced components each, 120 plasteel, 10 uranium, 3 standard components, and 100 chem fuel, which eventually will get, made as well. So whether or not that is worth doing is a question that I have, but I think it is something that I would like to do. So first things first, I should actually queue up so we are getting advanced components in both of these. Let's go ahead and put that on both of those. And then I'm going to queue up a Locust armor on this one. I'm going to say do until you have 2 of them. I don't have many options in here, but I will say 51% or above, normal to legendary quality. Only make this if your crafting skill is level 10 or higher, and they will start making those, which is going to be amazing. I'm going to wait for the helmets. I'll build all of the armor first, just because plasteel is probably going to be a limiting factor here, and we'll start by getting our melee pawns equipped with that first. And now, in terms of doing that, I think I would like to go ahead and just duplicate this anything apparel policy, rename this to melee. They can wear everything that they can wear at the moment, but the anything tab is going to be all my ranged units, and I would like to say do not auto-equipped Locust armor yet. We will re-enable that once all our melee pawns have been equipped, but for right now I don't want them wearing that. Now we just need to go ahead and say you guys are melee. I believe that is the first 4 there, and that should be fantastic. And that should be good to go. The other thing that I never actually ended up building in here was a smelter, and I absolutely think we should do that. That will allow us to break down some steel slag to get a little bit more steel, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. And the very last thing that I want to do is build our school, and that is going to be built over here. Of course, we will need to move our traders. In terms of where I want them to go, sure, they can just go and hang out with the animals whenever they come by. I will deconstruct that, grab these walls and say square, there to there, grab this door, throw it in there, and we'll figure this room out. So furniture, we need some, where are they? School desks. Wood is absolutely fine. And let's go for 2 in there. And then we will need some blackboards. 3 is the ideal amount. I'll probably end up with 4. Oh, actually, I could probably just do 3. I think it wants to go that way, I think. And that can go there. That should be absolutely fantastic. Let's grab a dining chair, throw those in there, and that should be our school pretty much finished. I don't think there's really anything else we need in here. I could put a toy box for decoration. I don't think it's necessary. I will go ahead and add lights though. That seems somewhat important. And of course this room is not even, but that's fine. We'll just add 4. Go a little bit overboard, and then we will also grab ourselves some conduit to go, oops, wrong button, conduit to go around the wall, and that should be fantastic. Only other thing is build roof area. I would like a roof over this wall. I don't know if it makes a difference, but that is what it is. So that should be fantastic, and I'll let them get on with that. We will throw a floor in here once this is being constructed as well. All right, we have a climate adjuster nearby. They're shifting the regional temperature by 10 degrees. Do I care? 10 degrees hotter or 10 degrees cooler? Because 10 degrees cooler would actually kind of be fine. It's currently 34. No, of course it's up. Of course it is up. So we might have to go and deal with that. That's annoying. I'm gonna let them finish this room first. Let me figure out who Hoff's parents are. That is Levi or Levi and Dragon, so I'll leave them behind. But yeah, let's go ahead and deal with that. So form a caravan to here. Except everybody except for Levi and Dragon. That should be fine. We don't need any items. Travel supplies. Yeah, take a bunch of food. We don't have any, what's it called? Packaged survival meals yet, so we can't take any of that. We'll take some medicine as well. Maybe we'll increase this just a little bit. Yeah, let's take 20 of that, and that'll do. That should be fine. 2.6 days worth of food. We'll send everyone out on their way. Everyone should be well enough equipped to handle this. And we have hives that want to come in as well. That's 13 hives. That's a little bit intense. Do we want any of this stuff? Not really. I mean, the plasteel would be nice. But other than that, no. I'm going to ignore that one for now. I'll let these guys pack up and then we will go ahead and come back once they've dealt with this mech hive. And just for this floor in here, I was going to use steel, but we don't have all that much available to us. So I think I might actually try the vinyl floor instead. It's pretty clean. I don't think the classroom cleanliness really matters all that much, but we have plenty of chem fuel lying around, and I think that will be absolutely fine. All right, they have arrived at their destination. Let's go ahead and zoom in and take a look at what we've got. So we have a mech node, mini slugger turret, we have a tesseron, auto charge turret, unstable power cell. If we can destroy that, we'll probably pretty much destroy this entire thing. Mech node, auto charge turret, and we have a proximity activator. So I think my best plan of attack here is to get everyone in as close as we can, sort of surround this whole thing so they can't target a whole bunch of us at once, and just start shooting at this unstable power cell. That should blow up a good chunk of this stuff. So let's get everyone drafted. They already are. Fantastic. Where are we coming in from? Over there. Perfect. Let's get everyone in a line, something like that. Let's just double check that we aren't inside that range. Move them back a little bit. Yeah, that should be okay. I just need to watch whoever this is. I might bring them back a little bit more, and that should be fine. Something like that should be okay. Let's move a couple of these guys up a little bit further, just so that we have the best possible chance of hitting this stuff. And yeah, that seems good to me. Let's select all of our ranged pawns. Say, please go ahead and shoot at that unstable power cell and see what happens. Alright, that is pretty much everything dead except for this tesseron, which is honestly a little bit annoying. Let's get our 2 melee pawns to go up and hopefully stop them. Never mind, we dealt with them relatively quickly. Ruben has 3 conditions that need tending, but apart from that, everyone is pretty much okay. Yeah, Nanan has a couple of conditions as well. Let's get everyone who is healthy to come up here and start shooting at this. Get that out of the way. Do we have anyone with medical skill over here? Matthew sorta has some, so let's get you tending there. Ueli has none, you have none. Layfield has some, so Layfield can go ahead and tend to Nanan. And that should be pretty much that and dealt with. Let's unforbid everything. I also am aware that I can just destroy this and it'll be fine, but, you know, it feels a little bit cheesy just doing that. So we'll let them shoot away at this. This should come down in just a second. Everyone should be tended here in a minute. You are still tending. You have 1 thing left to be tended, and then we can get back to our home base. Perfect. Everyone's done. Climate adjuster has been destroyed. We have exhaustion on Nanan. You'll be fine. Let's undraft everyone, go back to the world screen, reform the caravan, and head on back home. Except that items we want to take with us, we'll take the components, we'll take the steel, we'll take the plasteel. That's probably about it. Travel supplies, take everything we brought with us, and that'll be fine. I don't think it's worth stopping over here. We have plenty of wood as it is. That's an ancient complex, that's more wood, and that's leather and pemmican. So I don't really care about any of those things. I'll just let them come home, and that should be absolutely fantastic. For now, I will let them continue on, and we'll come back in a little bit. All right, transport pods are done, and I'm going to set them up pretty much immediately because I would love to start making some allies. I think that is in our best interests. So I'm going to go into miscellaneous, go ahead and throw down a pod launcher right there. Seems like a good spot, nice and close to this room. Makes sense to me. We could potentially move it over a little bit, but I think it's going to be fine just where it is. We could also just go ahead and throw it all right there. I think that'll work because we will have more storage in here eventually. And that should be good. We do have a war merchant coming in. I'll go ahead and trade with them, get rid of some of our junk and all that good stuff. But for right now, I'm just going to let them build that and we'll come back in a little bit. Packaged survival meals are now finished. let's jump in here and let's start making those. I would like to do the ×4 variant if I can. Do until we have, I don't know, 50 seems like a good idea. I'm going to put that almost at the top. I think we'll throw it there. That will probably give it the best chance of getting done. And then let's just see what is allowed in here. I think that will be all good. Allowed cooking skill is 8 or above. Copy that over. And we'll paste that into our other workbench as well. Throwing that right up there, making sure that it remembered those settings. And that way we'll have something for our caravans to eat once we get deep drilling, long-range mineral scanning unlocked. We did just finish, yeah, that was packaged survival meals, so that is fine. Trader has been dealt with, and we have our first transport pod here waiting for us to send stuff to someone. The question is, do we want to? And I think the answer is yes. I just don't know what we want to send them. We can go ahead and sort by market value so that we can see, you know, what is the most expensive things. They'll be at the bottom of the list. Of course, we don't really want to send them our persona cores, any of our weapons that we are currently using. Things like this, the Devil Strand Duster, we can actually stop making because everyone should have Locust armor very soon. So this one's a little bit damaged. I have no problem sending them that. Flak vests, absolutely. They're going to be going out of fashion very soon as well. I might just keep a couple around so that we have them. Reinforced barrels, I want to keep. Kids' clothes, I will keep the Devil Strand varieties, but anything else can go. For instance, the plain leather kids shirt, pigskin kid shirt, plain leather kid shirt can absolutely go. I'll keep all my high explosives, send them more of the shirts. That'll be absolutely fine. And I mean, we can always send them beer and things, right? That's probably the majority of what we will end up sending. We could also potentially send them a little bit of Devil Strand now that we've pretty much made everything that we need. So let's say, I don't know, 800. It's probably worth a decent amount, right? 550 each. Yeah, I'd say so. We could send them Hemogen packs. Jade, I don't really have a use for either. So we could potentially send them that. Let's go ahead and accept that and see how much that will give us in terms of reputation with another clan once we send it as a gift. Speaking of gifts, we have a gift from the Netro Treaty coming in with 42 uranium, and some of our animals got the flu. That's okay. I'll come back once this is all loaded up. Alright, we are officially loaded. The question is, who do we want to make friends with? There's no real point giving it to the Shattered Empire because, you know, they need knights and stuff to trade with them, so that's probably not it. Gupik, maybe. Also, I'm thinking Waslonut. They don't like us very much, but that's okay. They're currently minus 65, so we'll probably have to do 2 of these, but they aren't too bad. You know, they have lost most of their technology they brought with them to this world. They usually work with simple machinery and defend themselves with advanced gunpowder weapons. I think that might be it. I think that might be it. I mean, Gupik would also be nice. They raid us quite a bunch, and that's kind of annoying. These guys, probably not. Probably not. I think they're far worse in the tribal thing. So I think, honestly, it's going to be one of these two. And it's hard to say which. They're willing to make friends, but they're also ready to toss a bomb and gnaw human gristle when it suits them. I mean, these guys probably raid us with grenades more than anyone else, so it would be nice if they didn't do that anymore. The question is, we can get it to them. That'll give us plus 95. I don't think that's quite enough to get us ally, but I am okay with that. I think we will start with Gupik. So we're going to send that off. That should come back. Enemy now neutral Gupik. We have Goodwill plus 37. We need to give them one more gift in order to make that work. And in terms of what I want to give them, do we have much more jade available to us? Because I really don't have a use for it. I don't have a use for it at all. There's even some down here that we could potentially mine. And that wouldn't be a bad idea. This has been working out fantastically, by the way. We've got a decent amount of steel in our back pocket now, which is very, very nice to see. Also, some of our Locust armor has officially been built. You can see this here, Locust armor good. This is fantastic because we can now jump with these pawns, and that should make raids a lot easier. But I'm going to let them rebuild up this transport pod. let them mine this jade, which will probably take them ages, and once we've got a little bit more beer and stuff stockpiled up, we'll go ahead and send Gupik another transport pod with some gifts in it and see if they want to be friends with us. All right, let's see. That's going to give us 31. That's still not enough, is it? It's so close. Unfortunately, that's all the pod can hold, so that's what we're going to have to do for the moment. They are now at 68. We need another 7, so I will get another transport pod built here, and we'll send them enough to get that last 7 to make them an ally. All right, another 10 there. Let's go ahead and launch that. They are now allied with us, which means we can call them in for support if we need it, but we can also potentially call them for a trade caravan, which is going to cost us 19 goodwill, but that shouldn't get rid of the ally status, so that is absolutely fine. I'm going to say bulk goods, because I would still absolutely love more steel. We have 834, that is going to be nowhere near enough. I will probably do my first long-range mineral scan on steel so that we can get a little bit more. But the more ways we have to get steel, the better. And I think that is going to be worthwhile. I'll let everyone restock a little bit in the meantime, and then we might even go ahead and try an ally with someone else as well. Speaking of research, long-range mineral scanning is now officially complete, and we can go ahead and throw that down. I'm going to throw that right next to the ground penetrating scanner. I will say wooden chair can go right about there. And for now, I'm going to disallow the use of the ground penetrating scanner because it's really not serving us all that much anymore. Now, in terms of our next research, obviously we could jump straight into Starflight, which I'm tempted to do, but I think we should probably go for something like, I mean, bionic replacements would be good, but I think I would rather get into gun turrets. We're a little bit late on that, but I think it's worth doing. And then I'm going to queue up the auto cannon turret and the uranium slug turret as well. And that should be fantastic. In terms of getting Starflight, we will also need Crypto Sleep, so I won't queue that up just yet. We'll figure it out as we get there, but for right now, I'll let them get on with their day. Alright, it looks like all of our melee pawns are now equipped with Locust armor, which is fantastic. I can now jump back into the apparel policies, go to anything and say Locust. You guys can all have Locust armor too. Now, I understand that putting Locust armor on our ranged pawns probably isn't the biggest deal in the world, but I like the opportunity to get away quickly because I am not that good at combat in the first place. So I will let them wear that as well. In terms of whether or not we have any, that is a fantastic question. Let's just have a quick look. No, we don't have any currently made, but that is fine. Bulk Trader is officially here. I'm crossing my fingers that these guys have steel. That would make me very, very happy. If they don't, you know, it is what it is, but let's cross our fingers and hope that they do. Let's have a look. Okay, Layfield has poor health, but that's okay. I'm sure they'll be fine. They have 293 steel. It's better than nothing. Do they have anything else we want even a little bit? They have some beer. I don't really care about that. They have, no, pretty much nothing that we want, but we can sell them some of our junk as per usual. We have 805 insect meat. That seems excessive. We're using that only for kibble. If I sell affordable, that's all of it. Let's sell like half. Let's like 3/4 of it, maybe like 600. That'll be fine. Milk we have plenty of. Let's go ahead and sell them all of our smoke leaf. We don't need that much smoke leaf. We're buying the steel. That's very important. Our beer production has slowed down quite a lot, but that's okay. You're at 63%, you're at 58%, you're at 69%. I will sell those. They're going to give us a little bit of money. I think that's more than reasonable. Let's go ahead and accept that. I mean, we definitely gave them more than we just got, but, you know, at least they won't attack us anymore. That's always a benefit. And we do have 1,000 steel in the bank, which is very nice to see. Our first raid of the episode. These guys intend to breach our walls, which is honestly a little bit annoying. They don't have anything too scary. They have some sniper rifles, which I don't love. Yeah, they're gonna breach. Maybe we let them. And then once they're inside, we can go ahead and pick them off from there. That might be our best bet. Let's, for the moment, get everyone drafted and assigned down here. I assume they're going to attack down here somewhere. And then, yeah, let's go for something like this. That way, everyone's a little bit spread out because they do have grenades. They're going to try and breach down here, but we should have a pretty decent view once they do. Assuming they actually run inside. Come on. In you come. Alright, and then we're going to start shooting. And hopefully we can take these guys out relatively quickly without too many downsides. Dragon, I'm going to get you to come over here and attack this guy. You very much missed, but that's okay. We have Tox grenades. You are getting attacked. I did not see that. Alright, Nanan, I am going to get you to jump down and attack this guy. You can take them on. You two move back a little bit, like up to here. Levi, I am going to get you to jump at this person. They seem like they're locked in. And then you, Ellie, I will get you to jump to this person. At least stop some of the shooting. There comes a grenade. Let's get everyone down here except for Nanan to move around a little bit. So let's get you guys all the way up here. That grenade does hit us. Dragon is now free to do other things. Let's get you to jump in and attack this guy. You attack there. How are we doing down here? Nanan is burning and attacking them. That's okay. Everyone's coming in and shooting pretty well. I don't think anyone's at risk of dying just yet. Everyone pretty much needs medical attention though. Nanan, can you get them please? Okay, I might have to get you to jump to do that. And get you there. Matthew, you can come back here. Matthew is down. Okay, we have another grenade coming in. This is not going particularly well. Let's get you to jump down to Fowler. Everyone else keeps shooting. There's another grenade. Oh my goodness, these grenades are wild. Okay, let's move everyone back a little bit further. Dragon is still working down here. Where are other melee people? Levi is down. You are down, but you're not bleeding out, so that's good. You're bleeding out in 15 hours. Let's just do a quick check of everyone. Medic is bleeding out in 4. That is not good. Everyone else is pretty much okay though. Where is Medic? Medic is here. Medic, you maybe go ahead and come up to the hospital. That might be the best choice. Alright, they are fleeing, so that's good. Let's get everyone undrafted as soon as possible. Start cleaning up this mess and getting everyone, you know, tended to and dealt with. That was a messy raid, but we did live. That was definitely messy. You were just running around. Can we just get... Dragon, can you be drafted and just jump on this person and attack them? Because, yeah, they're scaring everyone off. And I think that is everyone. So let's undraft there. And now everyone should be okay. What's that bomb? Where's that coming from? Okay, that's fine. That is okay. It says we still have enemies on the map, but they are all leaving. Colonist needs rescue. Ueli, someone should hopefully be doing that. Yeah, Ilarius is doing that. Alright, let's take a quick stock take. You have 6 conditions, 5 conditions, 2 conditions, 12 hours, 3 hours. Medic is the scary one here. You're incapacitated. Okay, so everyone is pretty much okay. Who down here has medical skill? You don't. You don't. Ilarius does not either. Layfield does. Oh, Flannel is bleeding out in 4 hours. Layfield is currently tending to them. I don't like making this decision, but I'm going to draft Layfield and tend to Medic. Medic, you come down to meat because that's a little bit scary and we'll get that done. I don't know what you're doing down here, but can you... None of these guys have any medical skill. Okay. Well, I guess this needs to happen first. Because I would rather lose a dog than a pawn. And Reefing Medic is now bleeding out in 2 hours. That's now 8 hours. Still being tended here though. Who else needs rescue? I think we're okay. Alright, you're fine. Now you can please be undrafted. And stabilizing marchment. I think marchment is... Yeah, you're going to be fine. You please... Cannot tend to flannel. Oh, right, that's the wrong person. Who was it? Layfield, come down here and prioritize tending to flannel, please. I would love to not lose my dog, if possible. Ruben's having a tantrum. It's stressful, but I think we're okay. Flannel is now bleeding out in 3 hours. Our robots are repairing our walls. 4 hours. Okay, I think we're okay. Nanan's still fine, you're fine. Marchment's bleeding out in 10, but that's plenty of time. You just have life-threatening blood loss. Okay, I think we're good. I know it looks like we're not good, but I think we're good. I just need this wall to be repaired as soon as possible, so that our animals don't all wander away, but otherwise, we're alright. So, I'm gonna let them run to tend to everyone, and we'll come back in a little bit. New ambrosia sprout, we have a seam of steel nearby, and we have a kindling day opportunity. Everyone is okay, which is very nice to see. Let's go ahead and celebrate everyone still being alive by holding a kindling day, and then we'll have a look at that seam of steel and see just how close it is. And then once everyone is healed up a little bit, we'll go ahead and deal with that. So let's view the related quest, jump to that, and that is honestly not too far away. We also have a component site over here, so we might go ahead and do both, but I'm thinking we'll probably just do the compacted steel because this has 8 people on it and I don't have the patience to deal with that. So I will let everyone get healed up just that little bit more, and then we'll plan our first caravan to go and grab some steel. In the meantime, I'm going to tune this to gold because we do need some gold to build advanced components, and we currently don't have any. But of course, we get another raid. They are dropping in right on top of us. I do not like that one bit. Thankfully, they're coming in here, which is honestly a little bit silly of them. Everyone is pretty much in this room. Let's get everyone, even the injured people, let's draft them all. And what's the best way to deal with these guys? Is it to just hold the line over here with these walls? Or is it something else? I mean, we have pretty good cover in this room. None of these guys have weapons though, so you need to get out of this room because none of you have weapons. You, and you have weapons. So let's set you guys up, I don't know, down here maybe? Well, that doesn't work out very well. We can do that and then we can move Alarius. Alarius, you come and hold this doorway instead. Nanan and Dragon. Nanan, how are you doing? You're doing okay, 67% health. I think that'll be alright. Let's get you two drafted and set you up. Drafted, please. And set you up just outside that doorway. And then we can evaluate once everything is in place here. Thankfully, Levy did go ahead and take the baby out with them, so that's nice to see. Dragon, I'm going to get to come straight in and start dealing with some of these guys. What do they have? Is there anyone we really need to prioritize? If we have a look here. The guy with the Molotov cocktails is absolutely someone I would like to prioritize. Which is that you? No. Where's the guy with the Molotovs? You. Let's get that sorted first because that Molotov is going to ruin our day. Nanan, I would like to come down and start dealing with this guy. Dragon is now melee attacking there. That's good. Nanan, come on. Come and attack this guy. Dragon got that first one down, so let's just move around the room. Alright, I think we're okay. We have a little bit of a shield belt here on that assault rifle, which I would love to deal with. Let's go ahead and deal with them instead. We have our robot trying to help out. These guys are pretty much useless at this point, so I'm just going to leave them in there. I think that'll be alright. Nanan has lost control of Clean Sweeper 2. That's fine. They're dead. We'll deal with that later. Alright, we're dealing with the shield belt guy. That's fantastic. Hopefully they go down relatively soon. Clean Sweeper's still trying to clean up this mess as we go along. Let's get this guy. He's got an assault rifle. That's a little bit scary. And then everyone else's weapons are kind of mediocre, so I think we'll be okay just dealing with that. Dragon is down. Nanan could probably go ahead and jump up and start dealing with this assault rifle guy. Never mind, he's down. They are now fleeing, so let's just attack anyone we can see and try and take them all out. So you guys come up here so that we have a decent shot. Nanan is attacking. Perfect. All right. Another successfully dealt with raid. Nanan, is everyone down now? Yeah, I think so. Perfect. All right, let's get everyone undrafted. They can heal up once again. Again, a little bit messy, but I think we held our own there. They definitely destroyed some of our stuff, and I don't love that. I will go ahead and mark those for hauling. Clean Sweeper 2 died. Yeah, it'll be fine. Colonist needs rescue Dragon. Dragon is going to be okay. Let me just do a quick stock take, see if anyone is bleeding out. 13 hours, that's fine. And yeah, everyone else is fine. Absolutely fantastic. All right, I will let them get on with dealing with things. Let's go ahead and check on our enemies. Is there anyone we want? You're unwaveringly loyal. I don't have time for slaves. Construction 10, Recluse, Night Owl, and Fast Walker. Probably not. Unwaveringly loyal and unwaveringly loyal. So no one we really want there. They should all just bleed out on their own. If they don't, if they get back up, we will go ahead and deal with them. You're bleeding out in 21 hours. That's honestly a little bit too long for me. Nanan, what are you doing? You're playing billiards? I'm going to draft you and say, please go ahead and melee attack them to death. I don't have time for prisoners right now. Alright, it looks like our air conditioning is not good enough in this room. So we're going to need to add more. Let's go ahead and add one there. And let's add another 2 down here. That should be more than enough. I just need to make sure that that happens quickly, because when they build these, they actually deconstruct the wall in the meantime. So who is on construction? That would be Alarius at the moment, is the only one healthy and able to do that. So I'm going to get you to prioritize these in order, and that should be okay. Maybe our aircons were enough. The roof is just broken. I did not realize that. Hopefully they fix that relatively quickly. Looks like they're repairing at the moment. I don't understand why this is still unroofed. It shouldn't be. I mean, it's 21 degrees in here, so I'm going to call that a win, but yeah, I don't know why this is saying there's no roof. I guess it's over here somewhere? Yeah, it's 100% over here. If we toggle the roof, yeah, it's absolutely broken. Come on, someone fix this before you fix the walls. We need a roof in here. Thankfully, we have enough aircons to make it work, but that needs a roof, guys. Come on. All right, all of our turrets are now finished, and the question is, where do we want to put them? Obviously, in our kill box would be nice. I just don't want them too close to our pawns that they end up exploding said pawns. So it might be worth our while designing something out here with some bridges to throw down some turrets, like, I don't know, maybe a line down the middle or a line down either side, avoiding these traps, maybe some here, some here. That will draw our raiders' attention, which is going to be good. Yeah, I don't know what I want. I think maybe I want to go ahead and deconstruct these. This is still mining uranium, and I think that is worthwhile. We currently have 280, but we're going to need more than that to build the ship. Let me go ahead and jump into a quick time lapse as I plan out what I actually want to do here, and we'll come back from there. Alright, this is the plan that I've come up with so far. I'm going to deconstruct these parts of the wall. I'll have barricade here, I'll have a uranium slug turret here and here, and then I will have normal gun turrets in the wall along here. I think that'll be okay. I think. And that should be fine for now. That should at least help a little bit. Once they've, you know, got this deconstructed and all that, we will come back and I'll place those turrets down. And once again, we are out of steel. But that is the exact reason why we started that mineral scan. So with everyone healed up, it's probably time to go ahead and do that. So let me just quickly check in my work tab who we have as a miner. And it looks like that is going to be Dragon, Matthew, Miranda, and Ueli, although Ueli is doing the scanning, so I might not want to take them with me. Well, no, it's probably fine. Ueli and Ruben. They are all our miners. I definitely don't want to take both Matthew and Ruben though, so I think Ruben might have to stay behind so they can continue cooking. Everything else should be okay. So let's jump into the world tab. Let's go ahead and say send a caravan to that. Nope, that's the wrong one. To this one. Send a caravan there. 1.4 days. And that is going to be Dragon. That is going to be Matthew. Miranda. Miranda is up here, and Ueli. They are all going to go ahead and go to that mining outpost thing and mine us some stuff. We are going to take all of our bison with us just because they can carry the most things. Unfortunately, we don't have that many. We can carry 426 kilograms, which isn't going to be enough. We could also take our mechs, but Nanan isn't coming with us, so I think that's probably a bad idea. I did assign more bison to be not slaughtered so that we have more in the future, but for now, that is about as much as we can carry. The only other way we can get around that is by taking some chem fuel with us. If we took like 150 chem fuel and we took like 10 components, that way we can make transport pods once we get there and send some steel back that way. And I think that is worth doing. Now, we will, of course, need some travel supplies. I'm going to zero out all of the normal meals, and we will instead take a whole bunch of packaged survival meals. I will have to adjust their, intake, but let's say, I don't know, 25 for now should be enough. We'll take the kibble for our bison. That should be fine. Let's take, I don't know, like 400 instead. And that should be good. So I will send them on their way, and once they reach their destination, I'll come back and show you what that is all about. Just before I do send them on their way, I do need to make sure I go ahead and create a duplicate of my default food policy. I'm going to call this Caravan, and I'm going to say you guys are allowed to eat packaged survival meals, and you're also allowed to eat agave fruit because we will be able to forage some of that on the way. Close that, and then just make sure that I assign anyone going on that caravan, not to Cannibal, but to Caravan, assign them that food assignment, and that will be very, very good. Miranda is the last one, I believe, so I'll set that up, and then we'll come back once they reach their destination. I am tempted. A Masterwork charge rifle, a Masterwork harp, not as important, and some uranium. The only thing is we need so many blocks for the floor. This is fine, that can all be wood, that's fine. I think I will go ahead and take this. A Masterwork charge rifle is absolutely worth it to me. We have 29 days to complete it. Let's do it. That pod is now arriving. This thing is going to be huge, but I think we'll be able to find somewhere to put it, which is probably going to be in the animal pen, to be fair. Or we could throw it down. Oh, it's so close to fitting over here. It's so close. It's just one wall is in the way. That is very unfortunate, but honestly, we'll just throw it in the animal pen for now. I think that'll be okay. That is going to go there, and then we'll figure out what we need to actually get that to happen. Now, in terms of what we have the most of, we have the most granite, so it's probably going to be granite. In terms of where we have granite, it's all down here. So if we haul all of this, that should be more than enough to get that finished. Absolutely amazing. These guys are almost at their location. They are so very close. Almost there. There we go. All right, there they are. Let's go ahead and jump to that location. No enemies on the map yet, but I imagine that will change. And where is the steel? Is it hidden in the mountain? I hope not. Okay, it's not. It's right here. Perfect. All right, so I will set that up. Do I have anyone on this that can handle animals? Yes, I do. Matthew can, so we will go to spots, say caravan hitching spot. We'll set that up right there so that they can go ahead and do that. Make sure that everyone is undrafted, otherwise they will just stand around doing nothing. And then over here, I would like to go into MISC, build myself a pod launcher. That can go right about there. I will need to make sure I jump into these guys though and say find my components, drop that. Package survival meals, we will drop one of those there. And do I have any others with packaged survival meals in them? I should. There it is. Drop the chem fuel, drop the packaged survival meals, and drop the medicine too, just in case we need it. They should go ahead and hitch those animals, and then they should all, in theory, start working on mining this out. Dragon will go ahead and build the pod launcher so that we can send some of this steel back, and that will be fantastic. Low baby food. That is a problem that I did not think about. The Hoff here is being fed by Dragon, but Dragon is not around at the moment. So we will have to go ahead and jump into one of our electric stoves here and say, please cook baby food ×4. Do until we have 10, should be fine. Make that top priority. And yeah, you can use whatever you want. That'll be okay. And then let's get Ruben in here to prioritize actually making that so that we have some baby food that we can feed to our baby. That should go into this tab, I believe. Where does baby food go? Baby food. Okay, we have 40 of it. I don't know where it is in this list, but that's fine. As long as we have some, I'm happy. You can now clear prioritize work. These guys should get to work relatively soon. Dragon's already heading over. I assume to build that? No, to start mining. That makes sense because we don't have enough steel for that until we've started mining that. We also have a pod sprout. We will go and harvest that. We'll probably just sell it. But that is fantastic. I'm going to keep an eye on these guys for the moment. And that should be really, really good. Everything should be working out very, very nicely. Dragon is coming over to build this pod launcher. As soon as that is done, I will say build transport pod. And then we can start loading up some of this steel into that. Because I imagine we'll get more than we can actually carry. All right, next things next, this blueprint needs to be built. So what do we have? Walls are going to be made out of wood. That's fine. Tiles, I'll leave for now. Columns can be wood. Sarcophagus can be wood. Doors can be wood. Large steel can be slate because we have a decent amount of slate. Table can be wood. And sandstone elaborate tiles. Elaborate tiles are going to be built out of granite. It's a little bit unfortunate because they take so long to build. That is 34 work, but it is what it is. That's just going to have to do. Let me just double check that we do have people cutting stone. We do. Medic is actually priority 2 on that, so that should go relatively quickly. We should get a whole bunch of granite up and running. And I can't imagine this will take us all that long to build. These guys are doing okay. They're doing okay. They're a little bit sad. What is your problem? You are sick. I did not realize that when I sent you out. Oh, it's just toxic buildup. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Low expectations. Recreation's satisfied. They attended a party. They'll be okay. They're gonna take a couple of days to mine this out, but once they do, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Dragon's got that built. Let's go ahead and load this up with as much steel as it can carry, and that'll be good. Well, that's rude. That's rude. I did not see that, and it did not pause my game, but this cougar just fully destroyed my bison calf. I'm a little bit mad at that. So mad, in fact, that I might go ahead and draft everyone over here and say, come down and deal with this cougar. You cannot eat my things. Please and thank you. All right, let's get everyone in. Let's get them up here. That'll be okay. Ueli and Dragon, go ahead and melee attack. You two, go ahead and start shooting. It's going to want revenge. That's okay. It shouldn't last very long. It is already dead. Let's go ahead and undraft everyone. Allow that. We will allow that as well. I don't know if this was, you know... had anyone on it, but that's unfortunate. Yuli needs medical treatment. They don't really. They have a bruise and a scar. They lost their left thumb. They'll be fine. Everyone here is undrafted. Get back to work. Mining this all out. I think there's just that one tab left. Let's go ahead and load this up with even more steel. 1600 steel, actually 1900 steel in total on this vein is quite good. I don't know how much we're going to be able to carry. I definitely know it's not going to be that much. So let's get that launched, send that on home, get it there, and let's see if we go ahead and try and reform this caravan and accept that. How much of this steel can we take? We can take 746. So we at least need to get one more transport pod, if not two, to actually get this all home. So that's fine. Let's cancel that. We'll get another transport pod built, which shouldn't take too long. We should have the components for it. I believe it said we had 7. Combat supplier coming in on our main colony. That's fine. I will get this all dealt with and then we'll come back. And these guys have run out of food. That's annoying. Oh, I thought we were going to be so close to actually making that work. That is okay though, because that is why we researched transport pods in the first place. Let's go ahead and load this up with some packaged survival meals. Let's give them an extra 20 just to be safe. We'll accept that. They should load that up relatively quickly. Any second now. Someone, they've got 10. Where's the other 10? Someone's got to do it. There it is. Oh no, that was the other one. Okay, there we go. Now we can launch that over to this worksite. We'll send that right to there. Jump over to this view. That should appear. Everyone will then be able to eat. This is full, so we'll send this home. Send that to right about there. Then we should be able to carry the rest of this back with us. I will deconstruct this just so that we can take as much as we can possibly take. And that should be good to go. So Dragon, what are you doing? You're meditating. Come and deconstruct this. I don't know what we get back. We get a component back, 25 steel, and the rest of our chem fuel. Absolutely amazing. Let's jump into the world. Let's say reform caravan, go back home. And now we should be able to take our chem fuel, our extra components, all of our steel, and we don't need any of that. I mean, we could take the bison calf home. I don't think it's worth doing. And then we can just take all of our survival meals and all of the medicine that we have, send them home. They're going to take, I don't know how long that's going to take, 1.5 days. And that should be fantastic. But in the meantime, we have plenty of steel back at home base. Next thing we're searching for is gold so that we can make some more advanced components. And that should be good. So we'll come back in a little bit. Alright, pulse charged munitions is also finished. In terms of whether or not we can build them yet, charged rifles, 50 plasteel and 2 advanced components. We don't have the advanced components to do that just yet. And the Locust armor is also using those advanced components. So I'm going to wait until everyone is equipped with the Locust armor first, and then we'll move into making the rifles and lances. I actually don't know if the lances are worthwhile. If you guys have any thoughts or opinions about that, please do go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. All right, man-hunting rats. We have 51 rats. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and set everyone to be in the safe zone. Let's go ahead and set all of our mechs to also be in the safe zone. I don't know if they attack mechs, but if they do, I want to make sure they are fine. And then none of this has power. Why is that the case? Because you can't build there. Fantastic. All right, hidden conduits need to go across there then, I suppose. Let's cancel those two. And if we go into orders, I think, or power. Deconstruct conduit, deconstruct that. It's not going to be worthwhile. Deconstruct that, cancel those, deconstruct that, and then let's go ahead and get the rest of these hidden conduits coming up this way, which should work out a lot better. That means none of these turrets are currently working except, well, this one is. So at least we have one turret to try and deal with these guys, but yeah, it's a little bit rough. Let's get everyone in here. As these rats start coming in, they're going to go this way first and then realize that they can actually get into our base this way. And I mean, 51 rats is honestly a little bit terrifying. uranium slug turret is currently using uranium slugs, but I think it'll be fine. It is what it is. I don't see this being too much of a problem, but if it is, we'll come back. Okay, they're a little bit more of a problem than I thought they would be, so I will, for now, get everyone to come back into this room. These guys can melee block at that door, and I think that'll be okay. Levy, come on, you can do it. Ruben also needs to come in this room. You go there, you go there. Ruben might die there. I think, oh no, we should be okay. We should be okay. Come on, Ruben, you can do it. Get in there. All right, perfect. Now we should be reasonably safe. These guys both have Locust armor on. These rats really don't stand too much of a chance, and I think that is all of them. These two are still up, but they're bleeding out in 3 hours and 3 hours, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Let's undraft everyone. We took a couple little bruises here and there, but I mean, Ruben's actually bleeding out in 10 hours. Did you lose anything? No, you're all right. You'll be fine. All right, we also need a research project. And the question is, what do we get next? What do we get next? I don't think I want any of that. The watermill generator might be nice, so let's go ahead and queue that up. Auto doors could be fine. I don't think we necessarily need them though. Honestly, bionic replacements I would like to get. In case anyone loses a leg or anything, we can go ahead and deal with that. But then I think it's going to be Starflight Basics, unless you guys have any better suggestions down in the comments below. For now, I'm going to let these guys come back. They shouldn't be too far away, and then we will go from there. Alright, our caravan has officially returned. We now have a pretty decent supply of steel. We definitely are still going to need more, but that is why we are continuing to mine this mountain. As soon as we find gold, we will probably switch this back to steel again, find some more and go and mine it. But yeah, we definitely need gold to start making these advanced components. But I have been recording for an hour and a half now, so that is my time for today. If you guys have enjoyed the episode, make sure to go ahead and leave a like and a comment for the sake of engagement. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Consider becoming a Golden Panda member if you would like to have your name in the game, or just become a regular member to get early access to all of the videos. But until next time, happy building, happy surviving. Bye, guys.